going on, guys? In this video we're going to be comparing the Apple iPhone 11 with the LG K51. The Apple iPhone 11 was a flagship device when it launched, and the LG K51 is a budget device mostly found at prepaid carriers. Let's take a look and see how these devices compare. First, let's compare the overall size of these devices. The iPhone comes in at almost 6 inches in height. The K51 comes in at 6.5 inches of height. For the width, the iPhone is almost 3 inches. The K51 is a little bit over 3 inches. For the thickness, the iPhone is 0.33 inches. The K51 is also 0.33 inches. So the K51 is an overall bigger device, and it's the same thickness as the iPhone. For the weight, the iPhone 11 weighs 6.8 ounces. For the LG K51, it weighs in at 7.17 ounces. So a little bit heavier, the K51. For the overall build quality, the iPhone 11 has a glass back. The K51 is a plastic device all around, pretty much. For the dust and water resistance, the iPhone 11 is IP68 rated, so you can dunk this in water no problem. The LG K51 is military grade certified, so this one's a very heavy duty phone. If you can knock it around and nothing will happen. For the network, both of these phones are LTE only phones. These aren't 5G, but it shouldn't pose most of a problem since 5G is still in its infancy. And for everyday apps, LTE speeds should still be fine. The iPhone 11 is a dual SIM device, one physical SIM and one eSIM. So this is good for traveling, or if you just want 2 different data services or 2 different phone numbers. The K51 is just a single SIM phone. So you're gonna get an overall smaller screen on the iPhone 11 at 6.1 inches compared to the LG K51's 6.5 inches. So you just got a bigger screen, so you can watch movies, browse the web. You're just gonna get a lot more screen real estate on the LG K51. Although you get a bigger screen on the LG K51, you get an all-around better display on the iPhone 11. The resolution is 1792 by 828 pixels. You're gonna get 324 ppi. The LG K51 gets a resolution of 1560 by 720. So you have a pretty much just an overall better screen on the iPhone 11, although the K51 is bigger. You're gonna get screen to body ratio of 80% on the iPhone 11. You get 79% on the K51. So very similar screen real estate size compared to the overall body. The iPhone 11 is obviously running iOS. It's going to get several years of updates. It's currently at iOS 14, and it's going to get a few more years of updates after that. While the K51 is running Android version 9.0, and unfortunately, it's not going to get updated at all. So you have an A13 Bionic chip in the iPhone 11, while the LG K51 has a MediaTek chip. Basically, both of these will handle everyday tasks no matter what. But if you're looking for video editing or higher end gaming, the iPhone 11 is going to do probably a better job. When it comes to storage, the iPhone 11 has 64 gigs of storage. The LG K51 comes in at half that at 32 gigs of storage. But the bonus on the K51, you get to put in an SD card. So you could expand this for real cheap, real fast. Well, you can't do that on the iPhone. So that is going to hold all your music, your videos, your downloads, your offline stuff. Pretty much everything is going to be in the storage. So it's very important to have a lot of storage in the device. The iPhone 11 has a dual camera setup. It has a 12 megapixel main shooter and a 12 megapixel ultra wide shooter. K51 has a triple camera system on the back. Main camera is a 13 megapixel shooter. Then you have a ultra wide 5 megapixel, and then you have a 2 megapixel depth camera. Basically, the Apple iPhone 11 is probably going to take better pictures overall, better video, but the LG K51 could still hold its own. The camera is going to be average and passable. You could record up to 4K with the iPhone 11, And with the LG K51, you could take video up to 1080p full HD. For most people, I think both of these video resolutions are going to be fine. Most people don't take advantage of that 4K. For the selfie camera, we have a 12 megapixel shooter for the iPhone 11, and the K51 comes with a 13 megapixel shooter. You could shoot up to 4K on the iPhone 11 selfie camera. You could shoot up to 1080p full HD on the K51 on the selfie camera. Both of these should be very good for most people. The iPhone 11 does not come with a headphone jack, but the K51 does. If you haven't fully embraced wireless yet, like wireless headphones, then the K51 will be really, really good for you. If you still want to plug in your physical headphones, you want to hook up your phone to your car via an aux cord, or you want to put in a mic or anything like that, it's going to be an easier time on the K51. It's a lot harder on the iPhone 11. You have to put up a dongle, and it's just a hassle. Both of these phones are rocking 5.0 Bluetooth, and that's important because that's going to connect your headphones, your smartwatch, your speakers, pretty much anything that you want to connect to this device. It's going to go through Bluetooth, and it's going to work perfectly on both of these devices. For the iPhone 11, you are going to get NFC, which is mostly reserved for Apple Pay, and you're not getting any type of NFC on the LG K51. For charging, the iPhone uses the Lightning port, while the K51 has a USB Type-C port. If you have a lot of iOS devices, then the iPhone will serve you well, because the USB Type-C will charge a lot of different devices, not iOS. It could charge MacBooks, it could charge Windows PCs, Chromebooks, other phones. It could charge pretty much everything, tablets. There's a lot of devices out there with USB Type-C, not just Android devices. To unlock the devices, you're going to use Face ID on the iPhone 11, while you get a fingerprint reader in the back for the LG K51. For the battery, the iPhone 11 has a 3110 milliamp battery, and the K51 has a 4000 milliamp battery. Out of these two devices, I think that the K51 will last you a little bit longer, but both of these should last you all day. Luckily, if you're running battery on the iPhone, you're going to get fast charging and also wireless charging as well. So after comparing both of these devices, there's good and bad for each of these. There's a lot of good points for the iPhone because it was a flagship, but the K51 does have some positives, like it has a micro SD card slot. It has a decent amount of RAM. It has 3 gigs of RAM. The iPhone 11 has iOS that's going to get several updates. You got a nice big battery on the LG K51. Pretty much the average person on a budget that's trying to pick up one of these devices in 2021 won't be disappointed. Every day and all of their apps will pretty much work, except the K51 might be a little bit slow when it comes to high intensity games and video editing and stuff like that. Other than that, you should have a great experience on both of these devices. And on that note, thanks for watching, guys. It's been the iPhone 11 versus the LG K51. Peace out.